For the past 14 years, I've analysed well over 1,000 self-storage facilities across the country, and along the way, I've discovered exactly what separates the sites doing a few thousand a month and the ones worth millions of pounds. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 location types I look for when setting up a new self-storage facility for me that constantly makes the most money, and how to spot one before someone else takes your place. This is the exact system I use to open 7 self-storage facilities that generate a combined £235,000 a month. So without any further ado, let's start with numero 1. Location, location, location. Now, I talk about this a lot. You guys must be getting bored with me, but it really is vital you understand this. There's a good reason why I keep banging this drum. You can get almost everything else wrong in self-storage and still make pretty decent money with the right location. But if you pick the wrong one, there's pretty much no saving you. Even I can't save you. Do you know what? That sounds so douchey now I've said it out loud. Let me give you one example. A self-storage operator rang me for help around about a year ago. They were struggling to make a profit, and I went through everything with them. Their pricing, their marketing, their PPC campaigns, their SEO, how they were running the place, their systems, their procedures. There were a few things that they were doing wrong, which were quick fixes, and I felt confident we could turn this site around. However, I asked one question and it changed the whole conversation. The question was, what's the population of the town and how big is your site? And when they told me the answer, I immediately knew I literally couldn't help them. They had made the one mistake in self-storage that you genuinely can't recover from. The self-storage killer. I've done that before. They opened a site way too big for the town that they were in. There simply weren't enough people to fill their site. So whenever I open a new site, I always run what I call the golden ratio check first of all. It's basically a way of working out whether a town can actually support another self-storage facility before I or you commit to paying a penny to it. Take our site in Mansfield as an example. Mansfield has a population of over 100,000 people, and when I ran the numbers, it was under-serviced, meaning the town could genuinely support another self-storage site. So what did we do? We opened, and within the first 12 weeks, we had over 12,000 square foot of self-storage space rented out. Now, for anyone who's not in self-storage right now, it's blooming brilliant, is that? It was a fantastic opening. And in all honesty, the main reason it worked was simple. We just opened in an under-serviced area, meaning that more than one self-storage could open up and make a profit. Oh, by the way, and stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to show you a simple way of testing whether your location will actually get real world customers before you spend a single penny on it. It's something most people never think to do, and it could ultimately end up in saving you loads of money. So stick around to the end. Okay, numero 2. The second type of location that helps generate profit is something I discovered with our Glasgow site. Thousands of people drive past our Glasgow site every single day, every single week. And because of this, it means we don't have to spend a penny on advertising. People simply drive by, they see the signs, they remember us, and when they need storage, they come to us. The site's position is on a very busy road, and it basically markets itself. I know that might sound like a very small thing, but what that actually means is every single pound I'm not spending on advertising goes straight to the bottom line, straight to the profit, and it adds up very, very quickly. Here's the way I think about it. If you get the location wrong, you spend your whole time chasing, trying to find customers, meaning that you spend way more money on advertising, let's not forget. But if you get the right location, the customers come to you, the customers find you. That's the difference between between a business that feels like hard work and one that just runs. If I'm being honest, being in a great location is the hill I will absolutely die on. I do have endless arguments with people inside the self-storage industry about this, but as this industry gets more and more popular, I'm convinced your location will matter more and more. And I'm building a business to last 10, 15, 20 years, not just the immediate, not just 2 years. So the hill I will die on is you must have a good location. Numero 3. The third one is something I see a lot of people doing wrong. And honestly, if you're making this mistake, you could be setting yourself up for failure. This is, by the way, specifically for anyone who is opening their site or thinking about opening their site. And it's simple. Stay out of cities to start with. We've opened in Glasgow, by the way. We've opened in Wrexham, as we'll get to Wrexham. But when you first open, stay away from cities. And I'll explain why. It's because, well, it's not just because of one thing. There are a few things that stack up against you and make it more difficult. The first is the big national operators are obviously in city centres, in the cities, and they have resources that you don't have. They have staff, they have systems, they have marketing budgets that us new operators or small operators simply can't match. They can run half-price offers for months and months without blinking. It doesn't matter to them, which if you're starting out, do you know what? We just can't compete with it. So you end up a race to the bottom. You end up a price race. And do you know what? You do not want to win that race. On top of that, getting found online in a city is way more harder and way more expensive. The Google ads are more competitive. The SEO is more competitive, which means you're paying more per click for the same result. And ranking organically on Google takes much longer and it costs much more if you're up against operators who have been there years and are big national firms. So ultimately, you are spending more to acquire every single customer right from the start. And then the cost of actually opening, rent and rates in the cities are much higher, which means your break-even point is further away. It takes longer before the site starts making you money. We actually bought a site in Wrexham, which by the way isn't a massive site, but it's still in a city nevertheless. And out of all my 7 sites, Wrexham is consistently the most expensive place that we have to acquire a customer. Don't get me wrong, it's by no way, shape or form a disaster and still makes good money, but it just makes everything that little bit harder when it doesn't need to be. When you open in a town, you're usually competing against other independents. And if you've done your homework and you've got decent systems and procedures and you know the market yourself, you'll have an advantage over most of them. You can actually win. I don't want to say pretty easily. So start in a town, get good, build up your confidence, learn the self-storage business and industry. And then if you want to look at cities later, you'll know what you're doing. We've competed in Glasgow and done it relatively well. And here, by the way, is a little tip that most people completely overlook. Look for towns with a population of under 10,000 people where only has one self-storage operator in it, or sometimes none at all, because at that size of town, whoever's there as your competition is almost certainly an independent. And like I keep saying, if you've got decent systems, decent procedures and sales processes, you know what you're doing, you can compete with them comfortably. The population is there to support more than one site, the competition is manageable, and you're not fighting anyone with massive deep pockets like the big boys and national firms. Now, please don't get me wrong, self-storage will never make you a millionaire overnight. You're not going to be parking up that Ferrari after 6 months, but done right, it'll make you a solid, consistent money over the long term. And that is how I would advise anybody to start. Okay, right, I promised you a quick way to testing whether your location will actually get real world customers. And here it is. Before you commit to anything, before you sign that lease, run some dummy ads. Put a listing on Facebook Marketplace. Stick one on Gumtree. And if you want to go that one step further, set up a basic landing page and run some Google ads to it. Tell people storage is coming soon in the area and see what happens. If your phone starts ringing, that's a blooming great sign, and there's going to be real world actual demand, meaning people are actively looking for storage in that town and there's a genuine opportunity to make money there. If you get nothing and the phone doesn't ring, that's great information too. It's a lot cheaper than actually opening the self-storage and realizing afterwards there's no customers. It's not a perfect science by any stretch of imagination, but it gives you something far more valuable than just a simple spreadsheet. It tells you whether real world people in that town actually want self-storage and if there's real people who are going to be interested in renting a unit from you. So these are the three things I look for in a self-storage location. An underserviced area, meaning there's a population to support it, a busy road that does the marketing for you, and a town where you can actually compete without getting eaten alive and spending loads of money to acquire a customer. None of this is complicated, but it's the stuff that separates the good sites from the exceptional ones that quietly make serious money year after year after year. The problem is the most expensive mistakes in self-storage usually happens without you even realizing it. And the reason I'm laughing is because I've made all them mistakes and it's cost me thousands and thousands of pounds. So make sure you watch the next video. I have no idea where it is because I'll show you the mistakes that I wish somebody would have told me before I opened my first site. It's every big mistake you need to avoid if you're serious about opening your very own self-storage business. Click the link.